Okay, so 5 love languages. It is words of affirmation, gifts, acts of service, quality time. Oh, thank you, Stephen. Acts of service, quality time, and physical touch. So I'll just quickly run through what that is, what each of them are. Okay, so the first one is words of affirmation. So that's actions don't always. Sorry, bear with me. Actions don't always speak louder than words. If this is your love language, unsolicited compliments mean the world to you. Hearing the words "I love you" are important. Hearing the reasons behind that love sends your spirit skyward. Insults can leave you shattered and are not easily forgotten. Kind, encouraging, and positive words are truly life-giving. That's my primary one. Oh, sorry, that's my secondary one, that one. And then the next one is quality time. In the vernacular of quality time, nothing says "I love you" like full, undivided attention. Being there for this type of person is critical, but really being there with the TV off, fork and knife down, and all chores and tasks on standby makes your significant other feel truly special and loved. Distractions, postponed dates, or the failure to listen can be especially hurtful. Quality time also means sharing quality conversation and quality activities. The next one is acts of service. Can vacuuming the floors really be an expression of love? Absolutely. Anything you do to ease the burden of responsibilities weighing on an acts of service person will speak volumes. The words he or she most want to hear, "Let me do that for you," laziness, broken commitments, and making more work for them tell speakers of this language their feelings don't matter. Finding ways to serve speaks volumes to the recipient of these acts. And then we have physical touch. The language isn't about the bedroom. A person whose primary language is physical touch is not surprisingly very touchy, hugs, pats on the back, holding hands, and thoughtful touches on the arm, shoulder, or face. They can all be ways to show excitement, concern, care, and love. Physical presence and accessibility are crucial, while neglect or abuse can be unforgivable and destructive. Physical touch fosters a sense of security and belonging in any relationship. And then the last one is gifts, receiving gifts. So don't mistake this love language for materialism. The receiver of gifts thrives on the love, thoughtfulness, and effort behind the gift. If you speak this language, the perfect gift or gesture shows that you are known, you are cared for, and you are prized above whatever was sacrificed to bring the gift to you. A missed birthday, anniversary, or hasty, thoughtless gift would be disastrous. So would be absence of everyday gestures. Gifts are visual representations of love and are treasured greatly. Awesome. Thanks for that, Stephen. Okay, so yes, I just want you guys just to feel free to share on any feedback from last week's 5 love languages. Now my primary is physical touch, and then the secondary one is words of affirmation. Last week when my husband was getting ready for Kokoda, I was doing, everyone knows I do everything for my husband. That's just, I don't know, it's not really my love language, but I just want to make life easier for him. And I came home like 10 o'clock at night getting everything from the chemist just to make sure he was fully equipped. And just coming home and the house was spotless, everything was done for me. Even though that's not really my love language, it still spoke volumes to me, because it was kind of like, it gave me a break for being a hero for just one night, and I can just focus on what I need to focus on. So that meant a lot to me, even though it's not really one of my primary or secondary, but just him doing the acts of service that spoke volumes for me. So yeah, that was awesome. So I'm going to open it up to the floor. You're welcome to share. Would love to hear your week with the love languages.
Since I can go first, because I did mine, and I've done the 5 love languages a few times during my lifetime. I probably came across it when I was about 20 years ago, and I was surprised a little bit But before, it used to be touch was the first one, quality time, then words of affirmation, followed by acts of service and gifts. And what I recognized when I did it this time, a wee bit surprised, is one thing changed. The quality time went up to 1 and the touch went down to 3. Now I wonder if you can guess why that would have happened. I know why it's happened, and they are flexible depending on what's happening in your life. The reason is COVID. Amazing, isn't it? So COVID shut us down. We can't touch people. So that means quality time rose up for me above that, and touch has gone down. So I can see that, oh, that'll probably adjust in time again. So yeah, that's for me, and I can see how I respond to each of those different things. So yeah, that's it for me, unless you got any questions. So yeah, back to you, Faith.
Awesome. That's an awesome one. Especially with the COVID, and it just, yeah, like you said, it just makes us appreciate our loved ones even more, because we were restricted to spend that time with loved ones, and once the restrictions are lifted, it's kind of like straight to whoever you've missed. And yeah, no, that's an awesome point. Thanks for that, Stephen. Anyone else would like to share, or any questions? Maybe you're still getting your head around what this all means. Happy to answer any questions. Would love to hear your journey or experience.
Hey Faith, good morning. Hey Anthony. So I did the quiz last Friday, and my results came up that my #1 love language was words of affirmation. In an equal second came acts of service, quality time and physical touch. Those all came in at 23% each. My words of affirmation came in at 27%, but my receiving gifts or gifts came in at a measly 3%. I'm still trying to get my head around that, you know, and so far as the gifts, receiving gifts coming last, that didn't surprise me at all. I don't consider myself a materialistic person, but when I looked at the description of it, it's not even really about the gifts. It's an expression. It's showing one's love, and I know so many people that are just beautifully creative like that. I see it in my sponsor called Kitty Kitty, really good friend of mine, Carlene Sullivan, and my sister Angel. You know, they're just so creative. But something that I would see in the corner, you know, I'm like, ooh, that's a rag. I'll just go and throw that out. They won't. They look at it, they inspect it, and then they create something absolutely beautiful with it. But that's just who they are. Many have said to me that they could see me as the person of words of affirmation, and I guess I am. But I'm still puzzled how physical touch, acts of service and quality time all came in at a flat equal. I guess I sort of put that down to, in part, even before the first lockdown last year. My household was pretty much bubbled anyway, because my husband works 6 nights a week. So everything in this household, it revolves around spending time as a family with him on that one day that we have. And so, yeah, I'm yet to do my quiz with my son. That's been set up for today. I've had him busy studying Planet IX and Mixter because his mother's not too flash on some of these community, social media platforms. But so that's happening today. So yeah, but yeah, I've sent the quiz on to family and friends, and really encouraged them to have a crack at it. And it's this week has been a real, you know, focus on me, focus on my behaviors, focus on my habits. What is it that I'm creating? And so I've come up with a lot of starts and a lot of things that I need to stop. And so, yeah, so that's all I've got. Thank you. Thanks, Faith.
Awesome. That was awesome, Josie. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, looking forward to once you sit down and do, is it MJ? Is it your son? MJ's love language. That would be awesome. Sounds like gifts is definitely one of them, going on last week's last week's sharing. So that's awesome. Anthony, did you want to share, you know, about love languages for you? Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, like a strong first was quality time, and then second was tied with words of affirmation and acts of service, and then gifts a long way away. For me, gifts is like, you know, anyone can give a gift. Like you can Google what's a good gift to give, you know. That's easy. That's just a one transaction, and then I don't know, whatever. But for me, quality time was it's a major one. It's a strong first because typically I work 6 days. It's pretty long hours. It's usually a pretty decent commute as well, and it's quite draining work. So even if I am home the same as someone else is home from an office job, like, yeah, I'm not there. So the time that I do get, if I get quality time with someone or my partner, so it means a lot to me. And then at the same time, if I can't get it, it's pretty gutting. So for me, like quality time, just undivided attention, you know, not looking at their phone, not even just stopping what they're doing, or just letting the washing sit just until the end of the conversation. It means a lot to me. It's, for me, it's that undivided attention. It just shows that you are that person that you hope to be in their life. That you're actually special. What you have is authentic, because they're showing interest in your interests, because that's a part of, you know, what, you know, attracted them to you in the first place. You know, that's what makes you feel authentic, not a placeholder or just someone there for their convenience. So that's a massive pull for me. Like that trumps everything else, obviously, by the stats, but I just mean there can be so much else going wrong, but if I've got that going right, then that keeps me going. That's a big boost. Then second was the words of affirmation, like the unsolicited compliments. That's massive for me, because I don't know if it's common, but I'm a real deep thinker and an overthinker at that. So I'm like, it kind of defeats my confidence sometimes, because even if I do something good or even great, I might, you know, I'll just compare it to the people I look up to and say, is it as great as that? And then whatever. But the person I trust to know me the best, once they show that they see what I've done or appreciate it, or, you know, just give me praise, then I trust their opinion. So I believe it, and it does build confidence in myself. You know, deep down, everyone's pretty confident, but that words of affirmation, that does more than any enhancer could do. Or anything like that. Like if you were to see a therapist, like that's just a stranger, professional, but it's a stranger. But words of affirmation coming from a loved one, someone that knows you and knows your triggers and knows like what it took for you to get to the place you are and achieve the things you've achieved. That's probably why that's so high in it. Then acts of service, that one's tied with words of affirmation, because just like words of affirmation is first, but just like with words of affirmation, I said, like they know what you're going through and stuff. So it's more acts of service, like helping you through stress times or carrying a heavier load once they know you know, come home knackered, you've gone and done a hard day, and then they just, you know, give you a break from the dishes, or just something small like that. Just, I'm not talking about paying off my car, those kind of acts of service. Just the little things, you know, that keep you boosted. Those little humps, you know, the straw that breaks the camel's back, that's the person that comes and just takes away that last straw, you know, that breaks the camel's back, and you can be refreshed for the next day. So I've done, like I said, with quality time, I work 6 days. So when I do get a chance to sit down and talk to my daughter, like our schedules do clash. Obviously, she's not even 1 year old yet, and she's sick at the moment too because of the weather and also because of the air conditioning. So it's a matter of when she's even in a good mood. Otherwise, she's just stroppy and wants to sleep. Yeah, that's a massive one for me. By a long mile. Cool.